Hello, this is the video for section 5.1, and what we're doing is one-step inequalities. How I want you to fold your foldable is, you're going to have it facing this way, and you're going to make it fold towards the center. Like this. So we got inequalities. We know that this less than is made by your left hand, and that's less than or fewer than. The other one facing the other direction would be greater than or is more than. For this one we have less than, so remember your left hand will make a less than symbol. How you read it is less than or equal to. Another way that we could read it is at most. So that would be the top, everything else below it, that's why it's less than, and is no more than. So again, we're talking about the very top limit, and the only things that we can look at is below that, making it less than. Greater than, remember what you're also looking for is the word is greater than, not just less than or more than like we did for writing equations, because that could also mean plus or minus. So is greater than makes it the inequality. Is at least, so you have a minimum, and what you're looking for is things greater than that. At least. And then no less than. So the less than portion is not the amount that it is. It would be more. Okay, let's take a look inside. In your homework assignment, you got a few problems that you have to set up. And it's a good review of how to set up equations or inequalities. But then what we have to do is solve them. They're solved a lot like equations. So let's take a look. The sum. So if you'll remember, sum is plus. So we have x plus 3 is less than. So remember, your hand makes the less than symbol. So we'll go facing this way. Less than 8. So just pretend for just a second that that is an equal sign. I have asked you to draw a line. And then we're going to subtract 3 for both sides, which is great because that's also a review for solving equations, but can help you solve for x. So x is less than, so we copy the symbol. It used to be equal sign, now we have inequalities. 8 minus 3 is 5. And this is the answer I'm looking for in your homework, but I will show you the set builder notation. And what set builder notation means is the set of all x's such that x is, so such that means like x will become, x will be. So these are all the values of x's that x can be. How we make set notation is with open brackets. We have an x, and that is the set of all x's. That's what that means, that portion. And then we make this just like a bar to make such that, and then we give the condition x is less than 5. So this portion right here is the part that's going to change. And then we have the open brackets. This will not be necessary for your homework assignment, but it's just good to know. On the number line, on your homework assignment, you just have just a line. You don't have these little hash marks. I would like for you to make some hash marks. The number in the middle will be the number you solve for. I would like numbers on the left and numbers to the right. So 5, 6, 7. And to the left would be 4, 3. Since it does not have a line underneath, we make an open circle. I don't want it on the line. Sometimes it's hard for me to read. So I want the circle a above the line. So I don't like it on the line. I want it above the line. And then we're going to move to the left. The other thing that's cool about this section is that if you have the letter on the left, the inequality tells you which side you need to move. So this is the symbol right here, and it looks exactly like this one. Let's take a look at the other side, just so you can better understand what I mean. So the instructions are solve and graph the solution. 5 subtracted from m. So 5 subtracted from. So you're going to subtract from. What does that mean? It switches the order. So we have m minus 5. We have is more than. So you've got to remember these. Is more than. That gives you the inequality facing the other direction. Negative 11. To solve it, we draw the line, and just so treat it just like an equal sign. We're going to add 5 to both sides. M is greater than negative 6. So for both of these, we have open circles. Open circles. For the less than and the greater than, we have open circles. That means that the negative 6 and the 5 are not included. Don't forget the set notation. We make these brackets. And we always write x with that bar. So all the set of x's such that. And then we're going to write this. Oh, it's not an x. This one, it is an m. The m's such that m is greater than negative 6. So it looks very much the same. Like I mentioned before, though, this is the answer that I would want in your homework assignment. For the number line, we're going to make an open circle because it's not included in our graph. This is not part of the solution, just anything greater than that. So we're going to put negative 6. I do want numbers on the left and I do want numbers on the right. What is greater would be negative 5. Negative 4. So usually students get this part wrong for me on the homework assignment because they want to go like the positive number line. But remember, it's sort of like money, so you would have less if we have negative 7 and negative 8. Okay, see this inequality looks like it's going to the right. So our arrow is going to facing to the right. This is important because you need to have the letter on the left. Okay. So now we're looking at less than or equal to. The part that's important is that or equal to, and it makes it have a bar at the bottom. When it has that bar at the bottom or that equal to part, is now we have closed circles. Closed circles just means that you shade it in when you have to graph it. But let's go ahead and do this part. The difference, so difference was subtraction of b and 1/2. So b minus 1/2. Like I tell you all the time, please don't be scared of fractions. That's what our calculators are for. And then we're going to do less than. So remember your left hand makes a less than or equal to. How did I know it was less than or equal to? It said at most. So that is the top number that it can be. And we have 3/4. So treat it just like an equal sign. We draw the line between it. And then we're going to add 1/2. Add 1/2. And we have a b is less than or equal to. And so how do you do this on the calculator? This is the way that I would recommend that you do it. Sorry, I'm trying to get the camera to focus. We can do it. All right. We're going to have open parentheses, and I'm going to do 3 divided by 4 for the 1/3. And then I'm going to add, and then I'm open parentheses, 1 divided by 2 for the 1/2. And it'll do it for me. Remember, I don't really want that decimal approximation. So how do you make it into a fraction? You hit math. And then it goes to fraction. You're going to hit enter. That's going to turn our decimal into a fraction, 5/4. So B is less than or equal to 5/4. Let's go to the number line. The number line will have the 5/4 in the middle. And most students are like, how do I put numbers on the left and how do I put numbers on the right? Well, this is just 6/4 and 7/4. And on the left, it's supposed to be 4/4 and a 3/4. We are supposed to simplify these fractions. So 4/4 is 1. So I'm just going to go like this. 6/4 is the other one that simplifies. 3/2, sorry. If you don't simplify the fractions, that's okay. But if you're able to, that's what I would prefer. This one, because of the are equal to part, like I was mentioning first, we have a closed circle. So our circle is going to be shaded in, and we call that a closed circle. And then since it's going to the left, then our arrow goes to the left. I'm going to mention it one more time. It's because the letters on the left that I can make the symbol go like the inequality. So just as a side note, please don't write this down. You do not have to write this down. If we had 5/4, the inequality would be facing the other way to keep the value the same, and then B. Can you tell that if the letter wasn't in the correct side, that it wouldn't go in the same direction? So please be careful with that. We want the letter on the left. So I'm going to write it over here. Solve with the letter on the left. The other thing I want to remind you of is the left hand makes the left less than. So we got a lot of lefts, letters, L's all over the place. Left hand makes the less than, the letter on the left. Alright, well, let's take a look at the last one. Solve and graph the solution. Oh, sorry, I forgot to make the set builder notation. It is an open bracket. We have B now such that B is less than or equal to 5/4. This is the answer I would want in your homework assignment. So 10 added by n. So we got 10 plus n, or n plus 10, is greater than or equal to. So now I know I have greater than or equal to makes that line on the bottom. We got 12, equal to 12. So just like I've mentioned before, we draw the line. We're going to subtract 10 to both sides. N is greater than or equal to 2. Our set builder notation has that open bracket. N now is such that n is greater than or equal to 2. And we're going to close those brackets. Because of the or equal to part, we have a closed circle. That number in the middle goes here. Numbers on the left, 3, 4. On the right, on the left, 1, 0. And since it's pointing to the right, we want our arrow to go to the right. Remember, I don't want it on the number line. Alright, let's take a look at your homework real quick. So please put numbers on the left and on the right of the number line. So place your number answer right here in the middle. And then 2 numbers on the left, 2 numbers on the right. I want the graph on top of, because it says is at least, is a greater than or equal to. So I know it has to be closed, and it's going to go this direction. The other thing that I want you to remember is that the only way that it can be graphed this way is that if the letter's on the left. So you have to solve for the letter on the left. So see this right here? Let's go ahead and solve this one. We're going to subtract 5, subtract 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. That's less than m. But the letter's not on the left. So what do? You have to flip the whole thing. Flip it. That means the letter is now going to be on the left. You see how it was eating the m? You got to keep that property too. So now it's going to eat the m still, so it can keep that value, and is equal to 0. Now you're ready to graph it.